Alright, so in this video we'll quickly cover wind erosion. So what are some factors influencing wind erosion? Well, they are similar to things mentioned in the other videos, so dry arid regions, overgrazing, tillage, and loss of vegetation. So the overgrazing, tillage, and arid regions sort of all cause that loss of vegetation, and then that can be a positive feedback loop as well. Mechanics of wind erosion. So first up is saltation. So these are low, short bounces across the soil surface. These are the most important, most common methods of wind erosion. We also have soil creep, so the rolling or sliding along the soil surface, and then soil suspension. This is when fine particles can get moved up into the wind and travel long distances. So here's an illustration showing the three different processes. We have suspension of the soil particle getting up and suspended for a long distance. Saltation, so it's kind of just skipping across. And then creep would be, sort of slowly rolling or sliding along the soil surface. Control of wind erosion. Soil moisture is pretty key. It increases the cohesiveness. So, those fine clay particles that might get up into the wind and travel long distance, if they're moist, they're going to want to hold on to each other a lot stronger. Soil cover limits the wind's effect on the soil surface. Tillage, so conservation, tillage, and equipment and timing, like we mentioned in the other video. Keeping soils covered, never having bare soils can prevent every form of erosion. Barriers and windbreaks, or trees as we like to call them, can be pretty key in limiting wind erosion. So this graphic here is just highlighting the importance of the location of the windbreak. And so you can have a high deposit of snow in snow areas right at or on the windbreak, and then the wind is forced up and then comes back down. So in this first 200 feet here, we only have about 5 mile per hour winds. About 400 feet down, we're back up to 10 mile per hour. So if you're installing a windbreak, it's important to sort of plan your distance, whether it's a structure or a field or a road. We want to make sure those are placed appropriately. And then down here, just have a picture of a multi-species, sort of multi-generation windbreak, so that it'll always be present on site. So erosion conclusion. Accelerated soil erosion is one of our biggest environmental issues. Over 4 billion megagrams of soil per year in the US alone. That's about, check our units here, hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, trillions. 8.8 trillion pounds of soil is eroded in the US annually, caused by wind, water, and tillage. So those are kind of our three soil erosion factors and things that we need to manage. So most effective controls, again, limiting exposure, no bare soil, protecting it with whether it's plant material or just some other physical barrier from wind and rain, decreasing disturbance, just in general, again, keeping soils covered. We can do that through conservation tillage and through construction controls. And we have examples of each in previous videos and science to support their use. And conclude with a quote from The River, which was about the Dust Bowl in the 1930s. Poor land makes poor people, and poor people make poor land. And so hopefully a theme you picked up in these erosion videos was this sort of feedback loop of degradation causes erosion, which causes more degradation, and how we just sometimes need to step up and front the cost of protecting soils, and that feedback loop then comes into our favor. So if we can protect the soil gets healthier, our plants get healthier, and we're able to protect the soil better.